Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of Chanel makeup. So if you're interested in seeing how to achieve a really simple but effective look using full face of Chanel, then let's get right into it. There really isn't going to be much talking in this video because I just wanted to keep it nice and low key. I'll just pretty much introduce the makeup that I'm going to be using, apply it, and we'll just see where it leads us. Okay? Alright. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I have got a wet beauty sponge and I'm going to be using the Chanel No. 1 foundation. Now this is in the shade B30 and it's the best one for my skin tone, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a shake. And I'm going to be doing 2 to 3 pumps of this foundation only because only a little bit of foundation comes out at a time. So I'm just going to be smoothing that all over the face. And blending it in with the beauty sponge. Next we're going in with the concealer from Chanel, and this is in the shade B20. And we're going to be putting this as concealer and eye primer. Just a little bit on the corners of the mouth. And a little bit on the pimple, which doesn't want to seem to go away. Same damn beauty sponge and just blend that concealer in. Now the palette that I'm going to be using today on my eyes is an eyeshadow palette which I actually have never used before, and this one is called the TWEED BRUN Rose, which is this beautiful colour story here. It's got sort of like a rosy toned shade. Well, it's kind of deceiving, but these are pretty much like neutral nude shades with a real deep shade there. So that's the BRUN Rose. And eyeshadow palette that I had gotten last year was the 747 Mediterranean. We're not going to be using this one today. We might use it to do inner corner highlight, brow bone highlight, but we'll see. But for today, I'm just going to be using the BRUN Rose palette, which I've actually never used before. This one came with that beautiful little tweed sleeve, really pretty. Because I've never used this eyeshadow palette before, I'm thinking I might just give it a little swatch, so I'm going to swatch these out. Seeing it's my first time ever using these, might as well see what they look like on the eyes, right? And let's see, excuse my nails. So they're the tones, really neutral. Obviously there's a deeper shade there which will look excellent sort of under the eyes or even on the outer edge of the crease, but we're just going to keep it really simple look today. Shimmery shade right here, big fluffy brush. I'm going to be placing that pretty much all over the eyelid, right up to the brow bone. Now I've noticed a bit of fallout, so I'm just flicking that off. I'm just building it up a little bit more. And then with the e.l.f. smudge brush, I'm actually going to be dipping into this taupey shade right here. I'm going to coat both sides of the brush, and I'm going to be putting that just on the lid, the lower half of the lid. I'm not taking it too high up over the crease. I just want to keep it quite concentrated, but just to where the natural fold of the lid ends. And this e.l.f. smudge brush is so perfect for picking up eyeshadows and really giving you just the eyeshadow in the place where you want to put it. It's a handy little brush, this brush. Now I'm not worrying too much about doing a shape at the tail end of the eye. I'm just leaving it quite unshaped at the moment because that's the look that I want to do. Just a really simple eyeshadow look. Now I'm going in with this deeper shade right there, same brush. I'm going to line the lower lash line just on the outer corner of the eye. And then with the lighter taupey shade, which is right there, same brush, line the rest of the lower lash line. Going back into that deeper shade, just going to define the outer edge. I'm not blowing it out far too wide. I'm just keeping it quite close to the edge of the eye. I just want a little bit of dimension there. Now just with a different brush, I'm going to be dipping into that first shade that we started off to do the whole lid. I'm going to do the inner corner of the eye. This shade's quite bouncy. When you press it, it sort of bounces like a creamy eyeshadow shade. Up above the brow bone. Now the eyeliner pen that I'm going to be using today is called number 58 Boy Noir. And it's sort of like a dirty brown. It's like a dirty brown grey shade. We're going to put that on the upper inner rim of the eye. And we're going to line the inner rim of the lower lash line as well. And for mascara today, I'm going to be using the Volume Revolution. This is in the shade Black. So mascara's been applied on the top and bottom lashes, and now we're going in to do some blush on the cheeks. I don't actually have any bronzer from Chanel at all. I'm going to be using the blush Lumiere in Peche Rose, which is this beautiful shade right here. And I'll just swatch that out for you guys so you can have a look what it looks like. Now this shade is very, very light. You do have to build it up to get the pigment out, but for people who don't like a really concentrated blush, this is really a beautiful blush to use. The Flower Beauty blush brush. I've been using a new retinol product on my face, and pretty much I've been having some peeling. So if you see these marks here on the side of the face, on the side of the eye, it's pretty much where my retinol product from last night's skincare has kind of meshed with the concealer in not the right way. That's okay. And finally, it's time to do the lips. Now I do have a couple of lip products to use. I do have a lip ink in Sentimental or something like that, yes. Then I have a Rouge Cocoa Balm in the shade In Love. And then I also have a Rouge Cocoa Bloom in the shade Sunlight. So this is Sunlight. I'll swatch Sunlight here. Like a orangey red. That's Sunlight, really, really pretty. Then the Rouge Cocoa Balm In Love. It's a beautiful formula. I'll just swatch that next to Sunlight over here, which is just like a more of a cherry red. Now the Rouge ink, or the lip ink in Sentimental, is this beautiful pink shade right there. Really, really nice pink shade. And then I actually have two of the Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue shades, and one's in the shade Tendre Beige and the other one's in the shade Soft Candy, and they're really both beautiful shades. So actually go back onto this hand here, so that's the Tendre Beige, gorgeous neutral shade, and that was a really bad swatch, by the way, I'm sorry. And then Soft Candy is this really nice light pink. The worst swatcher out, guys. There we go there. Okay, what shade am I going to use on the lips today? So I'm thinking I'm going to be using the Tendre Beige shade, only because it's such a you know what I might do? I think I might mix these two shades together. Why not? I'm going to put the Soft Candy on the top, the Tendre Beige on the bottom, and I'm just going to smush my lips around and we'll see what it does. And then Soft Candy going on the top half of the lips. That's not a bad colour actually. It's not a bad colour at all. It's very natural colour. So then I'm going to go in with the gloss on top to lock that in. Of course you can use the lipstick without the gloss. With Chanel eye makeup, the eyeshadows are not very pigmented at all. Yeah, sure, there are some shades that do come out quite pigmented, but overall they're very soft, sometimes a little bit too powdery and a little bit dry, but a lot of people like that type of formula. For me, I'm quite neutral about that formula, and you know, I'll work with any eyeshadow that I can get, so it's fine. You know, it's a pleasure to use. But luxury makeup is something that sometimes you just want to use some luxury makeup, and you know, it looks pretty to have on your table and whatnot. But guys, yeah, so that pretty much is the full face of Chanel makeup. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would really help me out. And I shall see you all again in my next video. Have a lovely day or night wherever you are. Bye for now.